Go ahead. Make my day.
Long live the king. You killed him. No. I am your father.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. Ah!
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Movie Corner with me, Nicholas Zombie, joined today by the... Oh, man, I spaced. I was going to say arousing, but I don't know if that was the greatest term. The exceptional Obsolete 2003.
Thank you. Settle down, and to each their own.
Yes. And maybe somewhere in the back, at least in our spirits, there might be a little bit of Esp in all of us.
Yes.
But enough of that. What movie were we talking about today?
Yes, the movie just came out not too long ago. It's called A Late Night with the Devil.
I didn't know Leno was back on TV.
Yes, he's up there somewhere recovering from his burn marks or whatever happened to him.
Leno get burned? What?
Yeah, somehow he set himself on fire or something at his house, and
What the fuck? You telling me that suit of denim didn't protect him?
unfortunately, no. At least
Oh,
not his
crazy.
face, and he had to have some type of surgery. I mean, he's not
What the-
horribly disfigured, but he suffered some injury.
I had no idea any of this happened with Leno when I brought it up.
Well, he's not a very pivotal person we follow, but it's just like one of those
Yeah.
main stories that popped up. But
That's fucking all right. Well, then, that was very appropriate with the burns and everything.
yeah, I think it was like right around the same time him and was it Hawkeye got like ran over by his
Oh, yeah.
lawnmower or something.
I was like not jet ski, a snowmobile or something.
That's right, yeah.
Hawkeye got frozen and sliced, and Leno got burnt and ruptured. All right, well, that's an interesting tidbit. Speaking of gore and late night, let's talk about Late Night with the Devil.
Yes. So Late Night with Devil takes place. It's funny because it's done kind of like found footage style.
A little bit, but then there's parts where it kind of like doesn't do that.
Yes, and the kind of very high overview. It's kind of done found footage style because events happened in the. I guess it takes place around what the 70s.
77 from what I saw.
Okay, cool. Because I don't remember. But yes,
Yeah,
so,
I did a little bit of a brush up for it. We both saw this movie about like a week or two ago.
yes.
Yeah, so a little bit of a brush up.
So, but yes, it takes place. The events of this night happened on a particular night in '77, and there's this particular up and
Halloween
coming.
night.
Was it? Oh yeah, it's Halloween. There's this up and coming talk show host, the late night host.
I think during the movie he's like a rival to
Carson.
Carson. Yeah, he's like a rival to Carson, but he keeps getting his ass beat in the
Yes,
in
and
the
the
ratings.
ratings.
Yes.
So he kind of peaked a little bit, but yes, he could never meet or beat Carson, so he's been kind of struggling. And to kind of push the envelope and try and drive ratings, I guess it was kind of around that era of the satanic panic here in the States.
Yeah.
And
The movie kind of opens up with a little recap too, where like kind of talks about his rise and some dubious things he may have been up to in a certain grove in California
yes.
of the Bohemian Rhapsody variety.
hmm
But yeah.
so
What did you think of that little recap, by the way?
it's been a minute, so I'd have to watch it again once it comes back, or once it premieres on Shudder.
Oh,
'Cause this was a
I
limited-
thought it was, yeah.
Release. We're kind of jumping all over the place, but yes, this was a limited run in theaters. It's a Shudder movie, so it will be available to stream on Shudder shortly. But yeah, once it comes out again, I'll definitely rewatch it. But so yes, this is during a satanic panic, and I guess there was in California there was a satanic cult. They're doing their thing, trying to sacrifice children, and I guess they got it raided, and kind of like Waco, there was fire ensued. Almost everyone died except this one girl, and she had, I guess, a mentor trying to rehabilitate her. And in this process, she found out that this little girl has some type of demonic entity in her, and she's trying to like control it. So the host of this late night talk show has the bright idea where like they're gonna bring them both on show on Halloween night, and they're gonna try to conjure this entity. And shit gets kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think it like starts off like some of the of a psychic guest who's like kind of a charlatan, but
Yes.
has maybe like a hint of powers, and like he's like the first guest, and he goes on and he does this whole ruse where he's like looking for random names of dead people, and then
just fishing.
Yeah, he fishes and then he gets like one pretty good, and then at the end of it, it's seemingly an actual spirit attacks him and like is conjuring towards him. And
sorry,
later,
just a quick interrupt. It's obviously like as always, spoiler alerts, all that fun stuff. So
yeah, if you didn't know that, weird that you clicked on this, but hey, happy you're here. Anywho, but yeah, so yeah, he has the wife we find out later on, not too much later on, that it was actually Jack's wife going towards the psychic dude. Like she mentions like a unmarried man with a wedding ring and like her actual like pet name with him.
yes, I guess a little tidbit that we missed or did not mention was that yes, his, I guess that's his name, Jack, the host. When he was getting ready to peak, his wife randomly, mysteriously got hit with cancer. I think they mentioned that she doesn't even smoke, but she got hit with some type of cancer, and she died shortly after. But before she died, she made an appearance on his show, and that kind of got ratings up, but not enough to beat Carson, and his ratings plummeted after that. So he's desperately trying to find ways to get back to the top or get up to the top.
Yeah, so that was like one of his last ditch efforts, having his dying wife on there, which is kind of gross. And then later on too, we kind of find out maybe that was a price he had to pay. So, but after the psychic and all that, we get like this not huckster, the opposite of that, like non-believer, I guess, or this guy who's trying to expose all this, anything that might be fake or
Yeah, because I think he initially started out as a magician.
He was
an
like
illusionist.
hypnotist. Yeah,
and he gave that up to debunk and show, I guess, reveal all the charlatans, all the fakers out there, and what their tricks that they do to take advantage of people depending on what they're doing. And I guess one of his driving arguments is he'll provide $100,000 or something like that to anyone that can prove him wrong.
Yeah, I think he has like a check for $500,000 or something if it like turns out it's real.
Yes.
So he's pretty confident that he can prove that everything's not as it seems. And then during his segment, he talks with the psychic, and like they have like he's trying to expose him for what he's doing, but then the psychic is like he's noticeably like freaking out, and like veins and like this putrid. He ends up puking all his putrid like exorcist goo at him.
Yes, very violent, excessive black vomit.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Like the movie has this like kind of like weird grimy look to it. Like for a lot of it, in the early part at least, like has this weird like the 70s cameras feel like it's a 70s camera.
Yeah, they definitely captured that era.
And then like also like you don't really get it in the previews, but like it's kind of like shot like you get the 70 like you get the TV sizing on screen of the old like box TVs.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat. But yeah, anyway, so that guy pukes all over him, ends up being shipped off to the hospital, like, and then they try to continue on with the show with the skeptic, and then they bring on the doctor and Lily, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they bring them on for I think just to ideally they start to show like recordings and like what she's been through and like kind of talk to her, and then it gets kind of Jack kind of just pushing more to get those ratings up, and he wants to actually see a live demonstration.
Yes. At which point the I guess was psychologist is
Yeah,
strongly saying not to do it just because this needs to be done in a controlled environment, controlled setting. There's a lot of risk when it comes to doing this, and she's saying no, and they kind of hint that the psychologist and the host kind of have a fling going on. And
yeah.
they don't make it obvious on air, but it's kind of one of those things that, that there's something going on between them. And in the midst of all this, they tell him when they can during a commercial break. Oh yeah, by the way, the psychic, the first guest he had on, yeah, he died. He died on the way to the hospital. He died at the hospital. So
Yeah, that's when we find out he died. We thought it was just gonna some kind of hemorrhage or something, and then you find out like, the death and like trying to figure out what that's about. Jack's trying to keep that under wraps. That way the show continues. It's such an important show for him, and it's already kind of showing like the cracks in Jack and how fucked up he is, or he's gonna try to cover up a death before, just so it doesn't ruin his ratings.
yeah.
Yeah, and then we get to the little actual exorcism, or not exorcism, but like demon possession. Which, what do you think? How do you think that looked?
I think it went pretty good. The effects were, I say, not cheesy, but I say kind of low budget. But it worked. Kind of just how the girl was shifting around and like her face got all
That all
contorted.
felt great, but when the electricity was like going everywhere, it felt like Psycho Goreman.
Yeah, that didn't seem. We're jumping to like something at the very very end, but
No, it was during the interview with the demon. Like she kind of like levitates in the seat. Remember that happens?
oh yeah. Mhm.
And there's like lightning that kind of contributes like and comes down from the rafters to her.
Okay.
That's the first one, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like that was like the first one. Was like, what is this? Like it everything looked good. Everything looked like of the time, and then that happened, and it was like that's a little weird. And then yeah, later on it gets kind of off the rails even more so.
Yes.
But anyway, that happens, and then also the demon kind of focuses in on Jack, saying that they've met before and that they know them, and then it references the grove and the tall trees.
Yes.
So leading more into Jack must have done something in order to get where he has. Which you
Yeah.
think if you made a deal with the devil, he would have been like, beating Carson. Why then you don't want to know what Carson did, I guess.
No.
That sick freak. But anyway, so that happens, and the skeptic tries to debunk it by hypnotizing the entire crowd with the Andy Richter of the group.
Yes, because while all this happened, he still didn't believe that she was possessed with this entity, and he's like, "Oh, it was a mark," and he's because she did levitate off the ground, so he's like looking for how they would have done it with like wires or smoke and mirrors. 'Cause they kind of dimmed the lights a little bit for the ambiance. They had a little bit of smoke, so he's he's just shitting on it, like, oh, you guys are really good at scamming or whatever, and he was just shitting on them the whole time.
Yeah, he really was. And then, but he does the whole thing, and you see it from that point of view where he hypnotizes the Andy Richter character, which is just as like the sidekick. And that's when we kind of get the first like real like kind of gore, other than that throw up scene,
Yes.
where like we see like the worms coming from his guts, and he's like ripping into himself, and like giant weird worm ripping into his eye.
Yeah.
And then, like, everyone's like thinking that's real until we find out that was just a hypnosis that he pulled on
A
all the crowd.
mass hypnotism.
Yeah. When we see the camera roll back, and then we see what actually happened, and just him kind of just taking his shirt off and going crazy. So then, it's like it says that's exactly what happened before. That's what we saw with the demon, and then they try to prove him wrong by showing the actual footage, and then we see that the demon was real. And I think there's a glimpse of we get a glimpse of his wife, Jack's wife, in that footage.
Yeah.
So he's obviously being haunted by her. Or I don't know if the demon's using her spirit or whatnot, but it seems like she's just like something being used against Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But all that kind of concludes with what is it? When they try to do it again, or does like how does Lily like pop off at the end? I can't remember.
I believe they did just because the fact that they were trying to prove the skeptic prove him wrong, and she just kind of takes a turn for the worse.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. She just kind of gets pissed and like kind of flips out.
Yes, and 'cause at that point, that's when she starts, I guess, going full blown Carrie and starts wreaking havoc on the set. And the psychologist was there with like the cross, kind of doing like almost like the power of Christ compels you type thing.
Yeah, and then she gets completely fucking like choked out by the thing.
Yeah,
By her necklace.
she gets levitates herself, not under her control or her doing, but
No, it's not the power of Christ. It's Andy Richter, the psychic. He starts doing that, and then she just snaps his neck all the way 360.
yeah.
Yeah, and then the psychiatrist is trying to pull her back, and she has like some kind of like medallion or something that's supposed to like help her pull her, like come like give me
like
Lily,
some
or
type of
like
Latin chant or something.
yeah, something, and then like she levitates the necklace and like chokes her out and like slices her neck off. And I believe she like melts the skeptic's face completely off.
Yeah, I don't remember if his head exploded, but yeah, once it comes, everyone else is dead around him. He's there, and he gets on his knees and he tries to pull out the check. It's like, okay, you win. It's like you're real.
Here's money, demon. I was like, okay, that's what I wanted. That's what the demon wants.
Yes.
But yeah, but I mean that's when it gets kind of like fucking weird with like the graphics. Like I mean, like if the whole movie, like I said, looked really grounded, and then it goes into this weird like Psycho Gorman kind of thing where like her head splits in half and like lightning and shit shooting out from her, and just starts laying waste to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, while this is going on, I guess the producer tells the host, like, we gotta get the hell out of here while all this is going on. So he kind of escapes while everyone else is dying around them.
Yeah.
But that's where, yeah, it just gets weird.
Yeah, that's when we go into like this host having this like psychotic break or something with a demon, like making him see everything that he's done before on set of the late night show, past skits, past guests, and then past life events of himself. Like you get him in the Grove, but he's surrounded by people in costume, like the late night set. He sees his wife dying in front of him, and just kind of like it becomes his own living hell of him having to relive everything he's done and like seeing all the like what his like deal with the devil basically like cost him.
Yeah.
And then in that he kills his wife, but it turns out he killed Lily, and Lily's head's back to normal. So it kind of ends a little oddly too, like with that, like it just kind of pans out. He's murdered, he stabbed Lily, everyone's dead around him, and then like cut to black.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know. How'd you feel like about the actual movie, like itself? Like, did you like it? Did you think it might have been a little bit overhyped?
I liked it. I guess was it the third act? It definitely kind of got weird, and I was just kind of see like what they're going, especially when I guess it was Lily when she got when her head split and like how she kind of went all electro or whatnot. I was like trying to see like what they were doing with that, if she went to like into like the TV network or whatever to kind of spread like the evil gospel or what have you.
Yeah, like there's just a point where Jack's like in hell and he's like turning TVs off. Stop watching. Stop watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I don't know if like Lily also seemed like she really wanted to be on TV, like she wanted everyone to see. And like I think they mentioned something about the devil they worship was one of like fame or something, or something about like wanting to be seen.
Yes.
So I think there was like a little aspect of that in there. But I mean, I liked it. I like late night TV. I love fucking Conan O'Brien and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I wanted it to be a little bit more. I don't know. I liked it in general, but I felt like I wanted more.
Mhm.
But that's just, I guess, like I don't know if I wanted full on skits or what, but I don't know. I also think the movie got like really like played up with like the marketing. Like I saw a bunch of marketing from the movie, and then I also saw like it had a little bit of AI art controversy with like some of the cue cards and shit.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that in a minute.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is no one here who's listening cares about AI art and is passionate about it. No one at all.
Yes.
All right.
Whatchamacallit? What was I gonna say? Oh, that I thought it was kind of a missed opportunity, or because when he's kind of the host Jack, I think he's going around, or the Andy characters, they're talking to the audience, and they talk to the guy dressed up like a skeleton, and they're like, "Oh,
yeah.
where'd you get your costume?" And he just like stayed quiet.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a total thing or somebody like some kind of
like
demon thing.
So like they're in full costume. You can't see who or what they are, but the way they panned onto them looked like it was foreshadowing that like, oh, okay, that they're going to be a pivotal role to what's going to happen later.
And they were in that group of people, like of him in the Grove. They were like one of the guys standing around him, but that was it. There wasn't really like a huge thing. It wasn't like, I don't know if he represented somebody or if it was supposed to be like maybe his wife in a way, but yeah.
So I maybe I missed it, but it felt like maybe it was a missed opportunity. Like, or why were they emphasizing so much on the skeleton guy? And, but
yeah, no, I felt that too.
So, but yeah, I thought overall though the movie was definitely entertaining. It was all right, but yes, kind of to what you're saying, the movie kind of got some flack because it's kind of a low budget movie from Shudder.
Yes, and speaking of the logos, there were so many goddamn logos in the opening of this movie. Sorry to take it off rate, but there was a ridiculous amount of fucking logos at the beginning.
Yes.
Like humorous. I think there was like 9, and like I got to like 5, and I was like, "Is this a bit? Is this like a late night bit? Is this a thing?" 'Cause I've seen this bit before, like on Family Guy. They make fun of it, and like it just kept going, and like I started counting. And when I got to 8, it's like, all right, surely there can't be more. And it did 9. I was like, 9? What the fuck is happening? So apparently it was like Australian and like American and like I want to say Indonesia or somewhere else. Like it was just like multicultural event to put this movie together.
Yes.
And that's why there was like just so many freaking like logos. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to take off the AI thing, but I wanted to get to that before I forgot.
No, you're good. But yes, kind of what you're saying. The movie got controversy because in the midst of putting all this together, they got flack because I guess when they would cut to commercial break, they would kind of have like the "Please Stand By" logo. It wasn't animated; it was just an image, and it was I guess later revealed, or someone found out that that was done by AI. They used
Yeah, it's like they use like some like for like yeah, we'll be right back cue cards or whatever.
mhm.
And like they're on their screen for like 2 to 3 seconds each. But yeah, like if you look at them for more than that, then you can see like they're all fucked up and like cheaply AI for that time of when AI came out. So it was before all the strikes, I guess. So they have that kind of going for them. Like it was the very beginning of it. But at the same time, it's still like gross.
Yeah, so that kind of tainted their, because the movie's kind of got a lot of rave reviews. It said it did really well for I believe for Shudder or the whatever company that they made this movie, that it was like their number one released film, I guess. I want to say. And but this is kind of taken away. The people were saying they boycott the movie because they used AI imagery, and they said yes, they did use it, but they tried to tweak it a little bit, I guess, to add a little human element to it. But
Yeah, they did not tweak that fucking skeleton. That thing looked disgusting.
I would have to see it again, because I mean,
It looks reality fucked up. It's just stupid. I'm like, okay, they could have. I get they were indie, but hey, with all those fucking logos in the beginning, I think you had enough money to do something.
yeah, someone has
I
to
don't
have some type
Yeah.
of know someone that has this experience, or that can do it themselves.
Yeah, someone could just draw up something. Just saying, but yeah, it did take away from like a lot of the movie discussion though. I felt like that was a big thing. People talking about the boycott and all that, but I don't know if it's just because I heard about a lot of that before. But I don't know. I felt like I liked the movie. I just didn't like love it like I thought I was going to. Like when I heard the premise, like a late night demon possession movie, I was like, that's fucking cool. That sounds like two things I love. But
Yeah.
it just didn't really like hit me where I thought it was.
Mhm. And 'cause I don't know if it was just clever marketing, if it's actual true or not, because one of the reasons why I jumped on the movie to see it, because I heard it was going to be a very limited in theaters. I mean, yes, it's going to be on Shudder, but I love going to the movies, so I was actually going to see a different movie, Immaculate. I was going to see Immaculate, but then once I heard that Late Night with the Devil was going to be such a limited run, I didn't see Immaculate, and we chose to see Late Night with the Devil instead. And they claim supposedly either that weekend or that Sunday that they grossed $666,000 for that weekend. So the whole 666 thing. So again, I don't know if that was a true value that they made, or that's just something that they made up for marketing. Like, oh, go see it, 666 Devil, Late Night with the Devil, and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. I feel like the marketing on this movie was really good. Like I kept seeing it like everywhere. I kept seeing like the clips of the like "Stay Tuned" and all that. You know, like late night bits, and like it felt like it was gonna be like I said, that itch of like late night and evil horror. So
Yeah.
I feel like the marketing did a lot of good until that AI thing. But I mean, overall, what do you give it?
So we're coming up to the settled meter.
I mean, I think S would prefer that, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll give it a number and we'll discuss what it'll be later.
Okay. So with I guess going with the settled meter, that you should be seeing on your screen right about now.
Unless there's a more flaccid meter for some reason.
I will go ahead and give it. I'll say I'll give it a 3, a solid 3.
It
was entertaining.
1 to 5 meter, right?
Yeah, scale 1 to 5. 0 being super horrible, 5 super awesome. And I'm sorry I'm butchering the way S describes them, but you get the gist of the scale. But I'll give it an in between 3. I was entertained with the movie. I'll wait once it comes back out on Shudder, I'll definitely gonna watch it again, see if there's anything I missed or anything I misinterpreted, or just get a little more insight. But I am looking forward to see it again. But I'll give it a solid 3. Maybe I'll change my mind once I see it the second time around. But that's where I stand.
Okay. I will actually have to go 3 as well. Because, yeah, like I said, I was really hyped for the movie. All the marketing, like I saw, like just the clips and bits. I love that actor who plays the main guy. He's been like a character actor for a while. He's like in Dark Knight. He's like one of the crazy henchmen for the Joker. He's been in a bunch of different there's a bunch of different movies. Like you see his face and like, oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah, it's just like a background character who usually doesn't have much lines.
Yeah, exactly. And but he does a lot of great work. Like I say, hey, like I like seeing him when I see him. So see him in a frontman role was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it just didn't really. It didn't do everything I thought it was gonna do. It was good. I enjoyed it, but again, it just didn't hit like I thought it was gonna hit. I was really hyped for it. The AI art thing kind of fucked around with me. I was like, it kind of sucks. I really hate that they did that. Again, it was before, but still. I don't think it was too negative though. Like I said, it was a couple clips and you don't even remember it. But overall, I enjoyed my time. And yeah, I kind of want to watch it again. Just give it like more of a solid chance.
Yeah, would you watch it again?
Yeah, I think I would watch it again. But which is good because there's a lot of movies where like I'm never gonna look at that crap again. So I think I would go with 3. 3 is a solid. We're solidly in the middle for Late Night with the Devil, which is in tune with the ratings for Late Night with the Devil in the movie because he couldn't beat Carson.
Yes. So that's where we stand. Late Night with the Devil, a solid 3.
Yeah, worth a check out, especially if it's gonna be on Shudder. So
yeah,
you have Shudder.
Exactly. I'm sorry, you beat me to it. For anyone watching it who has Shudder, I don't have a premiere date, but it's gonna be there soon.
15th or 19th or something. I think 19th.
Okay, so depending when this premieres, it may already be out on Shudder. So definitely give it a watch if you get a chance.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that was Late Night with the Devil. Took us a while to get to it, but I think we had a good time. And now to play us out, Max Weinberg and Max Weinberg 7. Max, do you think you put music here or no?
Well, we'll find out. Post.
Anyway, but yeah, no, thanks for joining us. It's been me, Nicholas Zombie, joined today by Obsolete 2003.
Settle down.
And behind the booth on the 1s and 2s, you didn't see him, you didn't hear him, but he was here, Espionage DB7.
Yes, the one and only.
Settle down. Why are you so hard? Why are you saying these things? It's really weird. But anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Good night.
Have a good one.